How's it going, everybody? Doing a drinking and rambling video here today. I got 2 Miller Lights. My 2 friends were over yesterday. We were playing some GoldenEye multiplayer on the N64. He brought over some beers. He left the remaining ones, so I figured, I'll do a drinking video with some of them. That was fun yesterday. We got Applebee's for dinner. It's freaking literally like a 5-minute walk, so just ordered it online and picked it up. That was nice. They got the famous bowl thing they have, home-style chicken bowl. It's actually really good. But that was good. It was always fun playing some GoldenEye Bond multiplayer. I did film a video. I'll be putting it up today. I'm filming this on Sunday. I'll probably put this up tomorrow, Monday. I filmed a gum-chewing gameplay of Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine for the N64. And I wanted to put that up and maybe do a playthrough with it, because as I love the game, you can kind of stretch it out, especially because I have more time. But the problem is, I got to see what you guys say. I mean, I said that in the video, so I'm not going to really know if this goes up after that video. But the color, it was hard to get it to look even decent on there. Just, I guess, the coloring and against the webcam, and this didn't look completely awful, but it wasn't phenomenal. But the sound was there, which was good. So we'll see what you guys think of that. I am going to try and film a bunch of vids over the next few days. Probably going down to South Carolina. Like maybe a week, a little less than a week from today, because my stepmother, I think I mentioned in the other video, the update video, my fiance's stepmother is almost gone. Like, she's in terrible shape from she's brain cancer, so we're going to get down there. She's down there now. She's coming back on Tuesday, and I guess we'll drive back. Probably maybe Friday or Saturday of next week. I'll find out. So I'm just going to kind of film videos and probably maybe just bring the laptop with me and throw them up whenever. I'm not going to obviously be in any kind of mood to film anything, but I'd like to get some vids up, so... I'll try to film a decent amount, just kind of throw them up. I'm just going to kind of do whatever. This is one of them, stuff like that. Maybe a couple more gameplays, a couple more eating videos, maybe a role play or two. I'm not really focusing on doing any specific video. I'm just going to kind of go with whatever, so, because we'll probably be down there for maybe 10 days to 2 weeks, depends. I gotta ask my aunt later. We gotta bring the cat probably back by my aunt, so hopefully she can handle being back there, because she hasn't been around cats in a while. So see how that plays out. I mean, it's all a little tentative now, so I don't know exactly what's gonna be what, but kind of plan for that specific scenario. Let's see. Oh no, I didn't mention it. I did go to garage sales yesterday. Well, Saturday. Like I said, this is gonna go on Monday. Went up there, and I walked around for 2 hours. I didn't have the bike out yet. I just didn't feel like it. We got to 6, but there was nothing doing at them. It kind of always sucks, but there was nothing video game related at all, and nothing else I'd be interested in either. It was still good though to be able to get to 6. That's a good start, for sure. And I've obviously hit some stuff already too. So. I always like the Miller Lite. Goes down smooth enough and it's cheap. Like the Michelob. Is it Michelob? Is it Miller High Life? I don't know. The champagne of beers. Let's go. I'm not a big beer person, honestly. I mean, I actually like it a little more than I did when I was younger. But I'm not like some kind of pro or taste tester. I'm kind of whatever, you know. I'll like stuff like Miller Lite, you know, or you know, Bud or whatever. The I think it's Miller High Life, you know, that kind of stuff. The cheaper beers, and then I'll like more expensive stuff too, you know. It doesn't matter. I don't drink enough either for it to. To really care, I guess. I don't know. I kind of like the ciders, the apples, the hard ciders, like Angry Orchard type stuff. I don't know if they're gonna do it. I don't think they are. We used to go to the cider festival. We went like 40, 50, 60, 70, 18, 19, 6 years in a row. It was obviously canceled last year, which sucked. I don't know if they're doing it this year. It's usually in September, but it was always cool. It changed. It was in Heckscher Park the last. God, it was at least 3 times. They're really cool though. You go, you pay a certain amount, get a ticket, and they give you a little. I think I've showed the things like 2 ounce kind of shot glass, and you go and there's a bunch of different companies there, and you try their beers and shit. I mean, there's ciders and stuff, and there's some food trucks there, and there's other random things people are doing. It's actually pretty good time. Some people like selling memorabilia type stuff there as well. And there's a few actual beers there, like Long Ireland. It's Ireland, not Ireland. They're there. I've gotten from them. The beer lines, I think there's usually them and maybe one other group. Their lines are never overly long, so it's like if I want to just go over there and grab some stuff quick, and that stuff's pretty good. I think it's like a darker beer. It's like a heavier beer too, but it was pretty good. But the ciders are nice though. You get pretty gourded fast because a lot of people, some will fill it exactly to 2 ounces. Some people go right over and you're just like going right back and back. You hit them like there's usually at least there's gonna be like 40 or 50 vendors or whatever you want to call them there. Maybe not that many. I don't know. Maybe 30 or 40. I don't know. I just see kind of because there's so many. They're like all around the big field, and you have like tables set up, and food trucks are like over on this side, and there's like 20 porta potties. But it's what hits you fast. But a lot of that stuff's really good though. It figures too. We move out to we're out in Islip, and the Heckscher Park's freaking 5 minutes away, and nope, can't do it this year for the obvious reason. I don't know. They'll send emails and stuff. I haven't gotten any, so I'd like to see them do it. Because I'd go to it. I mean, that's the kind of thing too. I don't know if they're, by September, if they're still kind of doing, if it's like more lax and stuff or whatever, it's coming a little more back to normal, at least in New York or whatever. But you can separate that pretty good. You can put little things on the grass or whatever to separate people and just be quick and no idle chit chat and stuff. It's not. I don't know. I mean, I guess you have to cut down attendance because it gets pretty packed. But I don't know. Like whatever. It shouldn't be that big of a pain in the ass thing to deal with. There's a lot of good stuff there. Like the stuff that's more known, like the Angry Orchard or Strongbow or Recorder Leg does a lot of good stuff. Mackenzie's is good. They got a black cherry one that's good. They sell that in the beer distributors now too. It's kind of there's a lot of beer distributors around, obviously, but sometimes you have to go to like different ones because they all don't carry the same stuff. What else was there? There's Woodchuck. I think that's actually in Riverhead. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Well, there's Riverhead Cider House. There's sometimes there, and there's. I think it's. I don't know. Woodchuck. There's so many ciders. Those are the ones I. Ace is another one. Austin's, I think, is another one. Austin's Hard Cider. There's a ton from, and they'll come from, they're from all over the place in the country. So, because they do a couple of these things. I know there's one in the Philadelphia area. I think there might be one in Massachusetts, maybe Jersey as well. And I think they probably do them all over the place, I would guess. So it's kind of cool. So maybe that will happen again. Islanders made the playoffs. They're officially in yesterday. They shut out the Rangers twice to kind of almost like 99% eliminate the Rangers. Rangers technically still get in if the Bruins don't pretty much lose the rest of their games. And the Rangers win the rest of theirs. It's crazy though. Volumov, I think, shut out the Rangers 4 times. That's nuts. It's good to see that because they lost to the Capitals 3 times in a row. One was a 1-0 shutout, another was a 1-0 in a shootout. So, and the other game, I think they beat up on them a little bit. The Islanders in division's interesting because if it just stays how it is, Penguins, Islanders, and Capitals are already in, and if the Bruins just get in, which they probably will, any one of those, I would not, I think the Islanders could beat all 3 of those teams. I also think they could be easily, not easily, but I think they could beat them and be beaten by them. I wouldn't be surprised at how and that goes for all of them. I wouldn't be surprised at how any of those scenarios go. Penguins beat Islanders, Islanders beat Penguins, Capitals beat Islanders, Islanders beat Capitals, Bruins beat Capitals, Bruins beat Islanders, Islanders beat Bruins, Penguins beat Bruins, I could easily, there'd be no real shocks at all, in my opinion, at least. I know the Islanders did well. I think they're 5-2 against Boston. They didn't do as well. I think they might have been 2-5-1 against each the Penguins and the Capitals. But like I said, that doesn't really matter. So, gotta keep filming vids. I'm actually taking care of the people's downstairs cats. I gotta go down there in a little bit. What else? Haven't been playing much besides playing the Bond yesterday, and then I actually played through the end because I had my N64, and I mentioned this in that gameplay video, and I ordered an AV cable. My friend bought his N64 over. It's how cool, I can test mine and see how it works, if it still works, because I got that little tool, popped it open, fixed the reset button, but you don't really want to push it down because it gets jammed. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to leave it in place, not concern myself with that. But it works, and it has an expansion pack in it, which is nice. I always forgot what they look like, so I had to look it up and make sure, because you had the jumper pack originally, and then some games supported the expansion pack. Those things sell for $60, $70, those expansion packs, which is nuts. But it works, and now I'm like, oh great, I'm going to start buying N64 games now. But I would get games that are cheaper, like the Scooby-Doo Class Creep Capers, Rogue Squadron. Those are under $15 usually. Even an F-Zero is $20 to $25. Shadows of the Empire isn't overly expensive. I'm talking $25 and under. There's a decent amount of games, Wet Tricks would be less than that probably. Jet Force Gemini, but I don't need that because that's on the Rare Replay on the Xbox One. I ordered Resident Evil 0 on the Xbox. I had the Resident Evil thing on my wish list for a while. And then I'm like, if these things go on sale, I'm going to buy at least one of them. And of course, it was on sale for $5. I'm like, all right, I'll buy that. I just removed it from my wish list. If anybody happens to look at that, I'm sure nobody has looked at that in a while. There's a random hammock on there, and if anybody was going to get anything off of that, don't go near that. I just put that there because that's gonna be something I get for my fiance. So I like to put things in the wish list thing if I want them, so I know they're there and I don't have to look them up again when I buy them. But that's probably get put on the back burner anyway, so I might just remove that anyway. And the nice weather's coming again, get the barbecue started again in the backyard. good sound, actually. It's one down. I haven't responded to the comment yet, but I saw him say, could I do an eating Oreos video? I was like, I was in Stop and Shop today, Sunday, but I'm filming Sunday, but they have like dollar sleeves of Oreos, so I grabbed 2, so I'll probably do that one. It's easy enough to do. As a part of these block of videos, I'm going to try to kind of do, like I said, I'm just going to kind of do whatever. I'm trying to do like easier videos to make and just kind of, hammer those out. I don't want to have to think too much. Like I said, I haven't played anything. What did we watch? Anything? We got 2 movies from Redbox last week. The Wrong Turn reboot, which actually was pretty good. It was completely different than the other ones. It involved the woods, but it was more like a group that's been living in the woods for generations and stuff, and shit like that. So that was kind of cool. We watched this movie Horizon Line with the woman who was in it. Was in Get Out. She was the main guy's girlfriend. And Keith David was in it briefly. Gotta love Keith David. He's the voice of Spawn in the Spawn cartoon. He's in this movie Men at Work with Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez, where he has this classic scene where I think it's Emilio Estevez goes to grab, like they're eating at a diner or something, he goes to grab his fries and he grabs his wrist. He's like, this one thing you don't do in this life is touch another man's fries or something. It's a classic. He was also the voice of the Arbiter. He's been in a ton of shit. The voice of the Arbiter in the Halo games. Specifically 2 and 2, 3, and 4 was he? He was in 4 too. Was he in 5 as well? Maybe he's been in a bunch of them now. I can't remember. Resident Evil Village comes out this week. Resident Evil 8. I was gonna pre-order it, but I'll probably wait then until we're back, and then I'll just get it because I'm excited as hell to play that. I want to talk about it. Maybe I can briefly talk about it now, but man, that Stuntman game for the Game Boy Advance is fucking awesome, man. Holy shit. What a great job they did of recreating Stuntman for a handheld. It's pretty much just the first Stuntman. It has those movies in it. It has, what are the movies? I'm on Conspiracy. Is Conspiracy? No, Live Twice for Tomorrow is the last one. I'm on that one now. It's like more of a compact version. You'd easily do 3 or 4 stunts per each one. Same trial and error gameplay. Same gonna piss you off because you're gonna be doing certain levels repeatedly. But if you complete them, because you can't, if you miss a certain amount of objectives, you can still finish the thing, but you won't progress because you have to finish a certain amount, like a certain percentage of them. So you can't really miss more than 3. And then you're timed as well. So if you're too slow, you're getting booted. There are issues with it, for sure. But it looks pretty good, and it plays well. It's perfect for handheld because it's just quick. You just go boom, 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 restart. But it goes quickly. It had all the Toothless and Whopping was the first one. These were all the PS2 levels as well. A Whoopin' and a Hollerin' was the second one. That's like the Toothless and Whopping is like a Snatch type. They're all like kind of parodies on actual movies, like a Snatch type thing. Whoopin' and a Hollerin's like a Dukes of Hazzard. Blood Oath, I think, is the third one, and that's like I don't know what to compare that one to. I want to say maybe like a Stranglehold. Not Stranglehold, that was the game. Hard Boiled kind of thing. Live Twice for Tomorrow is the James Bond shit. And there's Conspiracy, which I don't know what that's playing off of. Maybe like a Mission Impossible type. What was the other? Was it 2, 3? Oh, and Scarab of Lost Souls is like the Indiana Jones. The main guy is like the guy the stuntman. You're like the person you're doing the stunts for. Is like his name's like Dakota something instead of Indiana Jones. It's like Dakota Scott instead of Indiana. They call him Dakota. There's not much music at all. It's just the director barking shit, and it's not as classic. Like when some of the directors, like in the PS2 and 361, they're like being dicks and shit if you screw up. I want to get the other one. I need to get the PS2 one again and the 360 one as well, because I do love those games, and they did such a great job with that. Took a nice walk towards the beach this morning. Once it gets warmer out and nicer out, I'll probably walk the full way, kind of just go down to the beach completely and then come back up. Now it's like I kind of go down most of the way and just turn back around. There's no new garage sales today. I was kind of looking. A lot of people in Islip, I've noticed, compared to Massapequa. Like Massapequa, you'll see a lot of people put their garage sales on Craigslist. Not as many people do it here. West Islip they do, but the way it's set up, this is annoying because I'm like, oh, there's a lot. Oh, wait, they're in West Islip. So it goes West Islip, Bright Waters, Bayshore, regular Islip, East Islip. So it's like West Islip's here, East Islip and Islip are next to each other, but West Islip's like 3 towns over, and it kind of sucks. But a lot of people in Islip put the stuff on the pole, but still, if you put on Craigslist, they'll put it on the signs on the poles as well. But you see a lot of stuff on just signs on the poles instead of Craigslist. So, but they've been pretty good so far out here. I kind of look at Massapequa still. I shouldn't. I did hit the one where I got the Mario Kart Wii and stuff back in the end of March. But Massapequa's usually stacked with them. Like, people are just having them constantly. But I mean, like I said, I got to 6 yesterday, and there was at least 2 or 3 that I missed because I was walking around for like 2.5 hours. I was like, my body, I'm like, I can't do it. Back before I got on my bike, I would walk like 4 hours to these things, and I was fine. Now I'm like 10, 11 years later, I'm like, oh, I can't. I can only do like 2 hours. My ankle's hurting. My foot, my back's starting to bother me. It's just, I'll go a few more minutes here till I finish this beer. I really do want to get into that N64 though, man. Indiana Jones game, you might not see it on the video when you watch it. It actually holds up fairly well. Something like GoldenEye still, in my opinion, does hold up well. It's crazy. Even my friend brought over the WCW NWO World Tour too, and we played a little bit of that. And that too looks alright. I don't know. I was always under the impression that a lot of the N64 games didn't hold up well. They had that kind of like fog type, like there's like no draw distance, so it was like fog. Like a game like Turok, when you're playing it, you feel like you're like almost, because there's a sky above you, but it doesn't look like it. It almost feels like it's like a weird like force field type thing. It's just like almost like a ceiling, not like the sky, because of the way it looks. Certain games have that, I feel like. Even like a Mario 64 kind of does. But there are games that I like. Rogue Squadron's still cheap. I think I rented that once, but I never beat it. I beat the second one, and I played some of the third, where you can go on foot as well. But I never completed the third one either. And Classic Creep Capers I've beaten, but man, I'd love the Scooby-Doo game. I'd love to just play that again, because it's such a classic game. Short, but just really fun. But N64 games are like an indie game. Like I'm like, it's like because it was I'm like grabbing it because my friend had it, but it's mine. It was funny too because my save's on there. I mentioned this video, but I'm looking at it. I'm like, yeah. I mean, usually it's like $40 or $50, and I'm like, let's look it up. And I'm like, people are selling it for like $90 to like $80. Well, I should say about $90 to like $150. I'm like, when the hell did this spike in value? But let me see something real quick. Like I said, I'll try to do more gameplay, a couple more gameplays too to put up. Like the Agent Under Fire looked pretty good, but the ND just didn't look great at all. Thankfully, the sound is much better because I'm using this mic with it. But I guess I might have to stick to like the PS2 Xbox, and I want to try maybe one with like a Super Nintendo or a Genesis game, or even an NES game for that matter, and see how that is. See how that goes. There's not a lot of like other, I don't know. I'm trying to actually think if I should do that Oreos with milk or not. I don't know. I gotta really just get, focus on just filming the things. I was always gonna do like basic stuff like that. I was gonna do like a gum chewing and pen clicking video, a page turning video, like a magazine, or well, it would be the 007 actually strategy guide, which I've done those in the past. Eventually, maybe the card album again as well with this camera. Maybe I'll do both of those. Just simpler stuff like that. And maybe like a role play or two. I'm still getting used to the camera, like in this new, in the living room. You can tell though how much better it does look than the laptop camera, because even the bookshelf over there is much more. You're getting a wider shot, but it also just looks clear. Like I can't see the Witcher books. Like I can't read the titles clearly, but you can see like the gray there and then stuff like that. You can see some of the stuff a lot better. I put the manual focus on. I had auto on, but it just moves. It's like constantly auto focusing. It's a little distracting. That Mike and Ike video did well. It did better than the barbershop gum chewing roleplay. I wanted to do a new one of those with the better camera. And it viewed alright, but I'm like, wow, I guess I've done so many of those damn things. But it's funny how you're kind of, if you make videos, and this is my 5th year making the ASMR videos, you see over time, like cranial nerve exams that I did, super popular, the barbershop videos, super popular, and then now as time goes on, those have lost. People still watch them, but they're not what they used to be, and now it's like video game collection. I mean, they always did well, video game collection, but certain videos do, better now that didn't do as well and stuff. It's always interesting. It's kind of fun looking at your stats sometimes on YouTube. They do a good job of like presenting, who's watching this and from what countries like this, age groups like that. It's kind of cool. I sometimes get a little too obsessed with the views, though. For sure. But then sometimes I don't care. We'll see how this one views. Ever since I've gotten this camera, the views on the videos have gone up. So it does look better. Like even now, I mean, I can admit like the lighting's better, but it's still a little like kind of off. But whatever. It still looks much better than the laptop camera itself, the built-in one. Almost done here. I got this one to 30 minutes. I gotta keep charging this laptop too. The battery goes so quick. It's like, okay, film a video, upload a video, charge it up, film another video. I will be doing my full video game collection video probably sometime in July. I was trying to look when I did my last one and kind of, do it the same way around the same time. I think the last one went up in maybe even September. That did actually really well, though. That's, I think, at like maybe 11,000 views. The first video game collection I did, Gum Chewing video game collection, I think it was a request, actually. And that was my highest viewing video ever. It did like around 30,000, maybe 29. I've never had that video, though. It's funny, on my older channel, my Buried Under Cliches channel, like I did gameplays and stuff, and some of them like shot through the roof, like 50,000, 75,000. But I'm not on this channel. I've not had that video that is blown up completely, and gives you the sub burst because I get comments. I think I got a few recently. Why don't you should have 1 million subs? And I mean that's a little much, but you should have more subs. You're underrated. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess. I think everybody feels like they should have more subs than they do, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you I should have 20, 30,000 subs. I should maybe have 2,000 or 3,000 more than I do, but, I think I could have helped myself if I went to Gum Chewing earlier or had a better mic earlier. Even did a cranial nerve exam earlier. I should have done one of those almost out of the gate, but I was nervous. I was like, oh, how am I going to do this and stuff? ASMR is a kind of an interesting beast. It's funny, I've gotten comments saying, how is this ASMR and stuff? It's technically almost anything could be ASMR, right? Unless it's like screeching and shit, like if it gives you the tingles or whatever, it doesn't matter, it could be anything. I'll admit though, sometimes like I'm putting ASMR in front of something and I'm like, is it though? But because anything could be, but it's kind of cool because you can kind of be creative with your stuff, which is the most satisfying thing. Yeah, I'll end this in like a minute here. Yeah, that's it. Just a drinking, rambling video here. Got it over 30 minutes, so it's bonus. But yeah, thanks everybody for checking this out, and have a good day.